Welcome to another YouTube and podcast series on Black History Month. We're going to use this month to get to know our church members, and today I have Collins with me. Hi, Collins, how are you?
Hi Matt, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. It's always good to see you, Collins.
Good.
I know who you are. Others who are watching this may not know who you are. So, Collins, tell our listeners, who are you?
My name is Collins Frimpong Manso, and I am a student minister. At the moment, I'm doing placement in New River Circuit, and I'm attached to Muswell Hill Methodist Church. And Reverend Matt is my supervisor. So that's the brief thing about myself. As we go into detail, you'll know more about me. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
That's great, Collins. Thank you for sharing that. And talk about your, where was you born?
I was born in Ghana, born into the Methodist Church, grew up in the Methodist Church, and here I am in the Methodist Church. Even though I've worshipped with other traditions, you know what I mean, but I'm still a Methodist.
Great.
So I'm still here in the Methodist Church.
And I'm glad that being a student minister, you don't feel put off by the Methodist Church, which is wonderful. So, Collins, in Ghana, just to help the listeners again who not maybe aware of Ghana, whereabouts in Ghana was you born and brought
I
up?
was I was born in Kumasi, and I am an Ashanti. Ashanti belongs to the Akan clan. So I would say Kumasi is the second capital of Ghana. That's where the Ashantis are. Yeah.
And explain a bit more about Ashanti for those who may not understand what Ashanti is, may be fascinated about that.
Yeah, Ashantis in Ghana, we've got different clans,
Mm,
and Ashantis are part of the Akan clan, and we speak the Twi language, which is spoken by most Ghanaians.
mm,
So unfortunately, I cannot speak most of the Ghanaian languages apart from the Ashanti and the other uh, Akan dialects. Yeah, but the Ashantis, we have a king as the king of Ashanti, and other places they also have their kings. But in Ghana, we work together as one people, even though we've got different tribes,
mm.
but we work together as one people. And when it comes to religion, we've got the Islam, we've got Christians, and we've got the traditional African religion, if I have to put it that way. So these are
Wow.
the three main religions that we have in Ghana.
And Collins, you have people in your family as well that are Muslim and other faiths. Is that right?
Oh yes,
Mm,
yes, I do have some people because in the olden days, some of our great grandparents they brought people from the north to work with them, and some of them came with their religion. They were Muslims,
mm,
and as we we moved together, they became part and parcel of our family. So some of our family members adopted Islam, and they are still Muslims, whereas some are also still in traditional religion,
mm, mm.
whereas others are Christians. My side is mostly Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do everything together.
So you all get on together.
We get on together, irrespective of religion or whatever. Humanity comes first.
Well, that's what we like to hear, and that's the good
Yeah,
thing, isn't it, about with Black History Month that
yeah,
we bring awareness and we learn from each other's story. So you was born in Ghana.
yeah.
Obviously, you're not in Ghana now. You're a student minister within the British Methodist Church. But uh, how old was you when you moved to the UK, Collins?
I moved to the UK in my 20s.
Mm.
When I was in the uni, I used to come and go, but after finishing uni, I came to UK, not particularly to come and live in UK. I came for holidays, but I mean, sometimes you don't know what God has in stock for you.
Mm.
I eventually ended up in the army, and the
Okay.
rest was history. I mean, the
Wow.
rest was history.
That
So I was in the army around 2001, and from there, that is what has kept me in UK. I mean, that is what has kept me in UK.
and was you in the army in Ghana, Collins, or was it just in the UK?
No, just in the UK.
Mm.
Yeah, but my mom worked in the armed forces in Ghana.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she was attached to the military as a civilian, not a military person. So I knew a lot about the military, but I
Okay.
didn't join the military in Ghana. Yeah,
That's it's remarkable, really, Collins. That so you went to university, and what did you study at university?
I did designing, art and design.
So for those who don't know Collins, um, well, if you see Collins at church, he's always got the most wonderful clothes on. It makes me very envious of what you wear. But you're a painter as well, aren't you? You like doing artwork.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a painter and design architect as well because I went on to study architecture here
Mm.
in the UK. Yeah, and I designed one of our front extensions in one of our churches in Barkingside. Yeah, so I'm all round. I would say I'm all round when it comes to designing, drawing, painting, whatever, abstract, realism, semi-abstraction, uh, building designs and furniture, whatever. I'm all round in the design industry.
What a gift you are to the Methodist Church. I'm picturing now, Collins, that as you're going into ministry, because this time next year you'll have finished your training and you'll be
Yep.
stationed. And so your CV as a reverend will be that you did art, design, you was in the army. You're going to need the army maybe for when you're chairing the church councils. So you've got so much to offer to the church. I wonder, Collins, again for the listeners, what was it like for you being a Christian and being in the army?
Well, being in the army, it all depends on how you look at it.
Mm.
Because I went into the army with a reason. I mean, I went into the army believing that I will fight for humanity, you know what I mean? Defend the defenseless and work for the peace of humanity in the world that we live in. So that was my main reason because when you look at the world we live in, there are wars and injustice and you name them. And sometimes you need the military to put things right.
Mm.
Some people may disagree with me, but some without the military, any country can attack us. I
Yeah.
mean, so sometimes we need the spiritual side and we need the physical side as we work things together. So that was one of the reasons why I ended up in the army
And
to
for
defend the
you,
defenseless.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for you, Collins, it must be quite. What was it like for you being in the British Army and being Ghanaian? And as we look at with Black History Month, was you ever treated differently? What was it like for you as a Ghanaian in the British Army?
Well, I've heard many stories, you know what I mean,
Mm.
about people being not treated fairly.
Mm.
But to be honest, I will say I enjoy my life in the army. I was treated well. I
Mhm.
mean, in my squadron, we were few blacks. I mean, they were all white, but we were treated very well. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll speak for myself. I mean, everything that was supposed to be done for me were done for me.
Mm.
Even after I signed off and left the army, they were still in touch with me. My commanders were phoning me all the time. I mean, and even I got a letter some time ago requesting whether I mean, rethink and come back into the army again. But I said I've served my time. I mean, so I will carry on in life.
Was that recently you got that letter?
About 5 6 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't speak for other people. People
Mm,
have their stories, but I
mm,
can speak for myself
mm,
that where I served, I was well received and
mm,
I enjoy my time in the military.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you can say, Collins, that you're going to a different kind of battle, which is in ministry, which is a good battle, but then it has its challenges along the way. I mean, I would just remember reflecting, obviously as white British, that when I was at school and we did remembrance and we looked at pictures and we looked at videos, it was very rare we had any stories from somebody from the BAME community. It
Yeah.
was seen as very white. But I think over the years, and while we have these awarenesses, like with the poppies now, that you can have a red poppy, which is your standard remembrance poppy, of
Yeah.
Flandersfield. There's the white poppy for peace. There's the purple poppy for the animals, because we've got to
Mhm.
remember that there was animals that lost their lives
No.
in the battles and wars. And there's also the black poppy to remember those the black friends who were actually in wars. But when I was growing up, it didn't picture it like that. It was a white person's war. And so the reason why we have Black History Month is to actually knock down these barriers to say this is a humanity war, and people of all races and
Yeah.
ethnicity are part of it. I mean, would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that because this is something that people have fought for now. I mean, raise awareness and all that. But in our day and age, you can feel that the authorities are listening, which is a positive sign.
Mm,
Now, I mean, everyone is now included. And I will say it's very, very positive because you know that the people who toiled in the time past, their toil has never been in vain.
mm,
They are being recognized, they are being remembered. And you can feel you can stand somewhere and say, you know what, my ancestors or my great grandparents or whatever they contributed
mm,
to this,
mm,
and I'm proud of that. So we are moving in a positive direction. I will not say we've got to the peak, but
mm.
we are making a progress,
Yeah,
which to me is very good.
yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of mine and Helen's niece, in Lincolnshire. She's 6 years old, and she'll be doing Black History Month at school, and that's really encouraging. You're absolutely right, Collins, that we're not at the peak, but these are subjects that I never had at school, and I would love to learn more because we were very selective
Yeah,
on our history. But now we're learning. I wouldn't say learnt because there's still a long way to go. I still
Yeah,
think in the Methodist Church, when it comes to things like ra you know, racial equality, we've still got a long way to go, haven't we?
yeah, we do. We do.
So,
I mean,
yeah, go on, Collins. Yeah.
no, I mean, in addition to what you're saying,
Mm,
we still have a long way to go. And as Christians, I would say we have to keep on praying and be positive about things. Now, I mean, because sometimes we allow the negativity to sway our attention
mm,
from what we're supposed to do. I mean, the Bible says with God, all things are possible.
mm.
So as we look up to God as Christians, I mean, He will direct our footsteps. So that's what I'll add to, I mean, what you said.
And that's a good thing to hold on to, that with God, all things are possible. So, in the army, what year did you leave the army?
I left around 2005, 2006. So that's a
And
long
then,
time.
yeah, and then after that, just put it into perspective, by the way, I wasn't even going out with Helen in 2006. So that's just
Okay.
that. So you went into you went out the army 2006.
Yeah.
Then what did you do after that?
I left the army, then went back to the uni.
Mm,
That's when I went to study architecture.
mm,
Then when I came out, I worked in the design industry for some time before I became a local preacher. So I was still in the design industry whilst studying as a local preacher. Then the rest is history. Now, I mean, here I am.
wow, that is incredible. What I mean, the rest is history. You're here. You candidated, accepted, training at Queen's College. So, for those who don't know how Methodism works, you're in your third year at training
Yeah,
at Queen's College. For those who don't know where Queen's is, where's Queen's?
our Queens is in Birmingham,
Yeah.
and I'm training as a part-time student. And I'm doing CBLP, Circuit-Based Learning Pathway.
Mm.
So my first year, I did it straight at Queens. The second and third year, that's when I met Matt, and Matt became my supervisor. And it's a circuit base, so I'm learning from Matt all the things that he's doing as a minister. So I'm
Mm.
learning every trick of the trade.
And also not how to do it as well. Um,
Yes, how to do it and how to do it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
um, I mean that's really, so Queen's is ecumenical. You train with Church of England, Anglican, and also with Pentecostal.
Pentecostals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so you so for those who don't know, there's training for those who want to train within the Methodist Church for ministry, ordained ministry. You go to Queen's Foundation. If you want to train for laity, like being a lay pastor, you go to Cliff College, and it's full times 2 years at Queen's, part times 3 years. So, Collins, you're in your third and final year.
Yes.
So, what does the next few months, from October to December, what does that look like for Collins?
Well, I would say I'm in the stage of reality, you know what I mean?
Mm,
When I started, say 3 years, yeah, I still have time. I mean, 3 years, taking nice and slowly. But the 3 years goes like that. Now, I mean, before you realize, now we're talking about stationing. The last time I went to Queens, we are talking about stationing and how we should prepare for ministry. You know what I mean? going into the church as a public figure, the do's and the don'ts, and how we have to, relate to people. So it's more about human relation and spirituality
Mm,
and building people up and serving one another. So that's what we learning now in preparation to enter into full-time ministry. Yeah.
that's really good. So you find out with your training, and you find out in January, is it, where you've been stationed?
Yes, by January I will find out.
And we'll certainly be praying for you, Collins, that you get somewhere stationed where first where you would like to be, but also more, and more importantly, where God is calling you and the Methodist Church to be. And I'm sure things will work out well for you and for your family. Actually, family, we've not got to talk. We haven't mentioned much. So, family, Collins, so you have a dear wife?
Yes, I've got a wife and three children, all daughters.
Oh,
I'm the only man in the house.
keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, I also have three sisters, and I'm the only boy in my family. So I'm
Wow.
used to women. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
used to women.
yeah, that's good. You know your place,
Yeah.
which is good. So, Collins, before we finish, we're looking at Black History Month. We use this opportunity to get to know our church members, and it's something that we don't just want months for. We want to be able to move forward when it comes to inclusivity. So, Collins, what would you, as we look at Black History Month, what would you like to see in place at Muswell Hill Methodist Church?
Well, in Maxwell Hill, I don't think I'll have much to say about inclusivity because that's what we do over there.
Mm,
I mean, when I joined Maxwell Hill, that was last year, and
mm,
we were doing Black History Month, and there were a whole lot of people. I mean, because I remember when I was coming to Maxwell Hill, I was told that Maxwell Hill is a white church. So
mm,
I was thinking that is somehow the same like my home circuit because in my home church it's mostly whites. But when I came to Muswell Hill, that is not what I found anyway, because I saw a lot of black people there. And the Black History Month, even though it's Black History Month, but I saw that the whites were more interested in it,
mm.
even more than the blacks. Now, I mean, the
Yeah.
whites were more interested in it, even more than the whites. And we invited many people to come and give us a talk, which I enjoyed one of them because I collaborated with one of the speakers on one Sunday. I remember when you told me that, oh, Collins, I have to go somewhere. So you have to work with this person. And it was nice. That was my first time, I mean,
Mm,
standing in front of that congregation. And I was well received. And when it comes to inclusivity, not even Black History Month, but Muswell Hill is working with refugees, Iranians, Ukrainians, and it's a wonderful job. Some have even given, I mean, they've become Christians. And I remember about 7 or 8 people getting baptized in the church. That was wonderful, I mean. And people, I mean, the church keep on growing.
mm,
And it shows that the church has got good leadership. I'll put it that way. And that is something I'm expecting in the Methodist Church, and it's something that will be with me at the till the end of my life. And it's something that I'm hoping to, I mean, exhibit or demonstrate wherever that I find myself to build a church like that, a church where there is nothing like white or black, you know what I mean, or blue or green, or but a church where there is humans worshiping together, working together, loving each other, helping each other, lifting each other, because
mm,
that is what Christ called us to do. And
Mm,
I'm very grateful that they put me in Maxwell Hill.
great. We're very grateful that they did, and I've learnt so much from you, Collins. So thank you for joining us, Collins, and those who are watching on YouTube. Please comment on the bottom of this video and any questions that you have or bits about the interview. You want to share something about Black History Month, please do. We'd love to hear from you. But Collins, thank you for joining us. Theme is hidden treasures, and that you are our hidden treasure, and we thank you that you have shared your story. So thank you, Collins.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. Thank you, everyone. I'll say, God, may God richly bless you. And if you've not had the opportunity to visit Muswell Hill, we invite you to come and worship with us, and you will experience the power of God. God richly bless you all.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Collins.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you again for the next Hidden Treasures interview.